What's good? What's good? Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goon. Shout out. We are back. We are back. Got my Compton hoodie on, straight out of Compton, of course. How you guys doing today? Let's see. We got Deke in the house. We got Sean. We got Baby Boy. Good. Joey, what's good, man? Marlena Williams, Postmaster General. How are you today? Good to see you guys are in here. Postmaster General. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, Mailroom Room. Click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below because when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. You guys are here with me. It's Friday. It's a wonderful Friday, an amazing Friday, and it's an amazing group of people here in the chat. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. You guys just really make my day. You know what? The thing about when I go through these live, I really never know what I'm going to say until I get in here and see all the people in the chat. And then there's things that happen. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Something takes over and I begin to go into my Rolodex and I just begin to dialogue with you guys. You guys see the title, accountability is like kryptonite. But is that really the true nature of what the problem is? Let's get into that. Let's talk about that for a moment because there's so many ways we can look at that, you know what I mean? And we want to try to explore everything because once you begin to integrate the positive information, then we can really open the door and see where we at with it. So how are you guys doing today? Anybody got any questions? Cleveland in the house. Waterfall. I feel you, man. Much love, Joy. Where's my boy Yusuf at, man? I haven't seen Yusuf. Come on, what's happening, man? Detroit checking in. What's up, Kimo? Everyone hit that like button. Please hit that like button. It's important you hit the like button. Stop by and just press the like button on your way into the room. It really helps out. I appreciate it. I humbly appreciate it, man. Strategy requires thought. Tactics require observation, and it also requires you to not have your emotions involved. We're such a ball of emotion in this day and time. 2022, man, these kids are just walking ball of emotions. He's getting off work soon. Right on, right on. Hopefully we have the ball game join us. You know, he's probably getting off of work, but that's okay. You got me. You got the Professor Mellon Mill, you know. So here it is. So once again, shout out to the Mailroom Nation. Shout out to Mailroom Gun. Yeah, I threw up a picture of Turtle. One of the things that Turtle always put forward was having individuals that were accountable. Now, what does that mean, Professor Mellon? Accountability means that whatever part you played on the structure of there you go. What's up, Yusuf? How you doing? Good to see you in here. There you go. Got you on the likes, huh? 619. Yes, sir. So the accountability and the structure which we operated under was unique in itself. And it was designed in a way for everybody in Western Avenue. Queen, how are you? It's been a while since I've seen you. Hello. It's been a while. It was structured in a way that everybody was an important part of the mechanisms that made what we know as Santana, Tana, Big Manhattan, all that function. And one of some of the things that he created and initiated was the mantras. The mantras were the calling cards, were the power, were the energy source. Because the energy source, if you got a group of individuals, right, and you want to inspire and empower them to move to excel to their greatest potential, you create words that have meaning, that are fulfilling, and that are when you hear them, you rally to that moment. You rally to that moment in a way that goes beyond the normal everyday activity guy or the average guy frame of thinking. How you doing, Lakeisha? Good to see you back. Appreciate you being back with us. Man, I like when Jersey and New York and Detroit, Texas, Tennessee, Illinois. I love it when you guys tap in because these lessons that I bring up or speak about, these individuals I speak about, are very important because he was an integral part of how we moved and how we rose to where we were during that time. And I'm speaking about the 80s. We had accountability back then. We had accountability. No one acted out of context. Everything was sanctioned and everything was structured. And what I mean by that is that we had people that would watch the neighborhood. We had people that go out and get cars, if we needed them. We had people that would work the spots. We had people that, what I mean, go out with them goddammits, you know. We had people that can fight, Fat Daddy, Willerated, Killerator, my brother Age, Sleep Hudson, Kizzy, the twins, Gangster, Twee, and I was supposed to bring Twee on here today. Twee and Hub was like two prime examples of what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Because they knew when it was their time, boy, did they rise to the occasion. They rose to the occasion in a way that went beyond measure. And when I say beyond measure, you know what I mean? Because the way Kenny Wayne talked to us or talked to everybody was like, you was the most important thing at that moment. And he did everybody like that. He didn't leave nobody. Of course, Pete was there. Gangster said Pete, PTE. What does that mean? Pete, Primo Pete? He was part of that too, man. Primo Pete was responsible for, let's see, goddamn it's money and dope. Hide it better. Nobody can hide it better than Pete. So getting back to the story, right? So everybody, and he knew everybody's strengths. He knew Cat's weaknesses, and people were just very accountable for that, in a way that I don't think most neighborhoods had the structure and the discipline we had. Shout out to Mailroom, Inspirational Friday. And when I say they didn't measure up, it's because they didn't have a general that we had. We had a general name was Kenneth Wayne Johnson, and he saw the playing field, you know what I mean? And he knew that arguing with idiots was like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you are, the bird is always gonna just S all over the board and strut around like he won anyway. You know what I mean? Those type of people that we just didn't tolerate in our circumference. We just didn't. You know what I mean? So there was a level of discipline, there was a level of accountability, and everybody knew their position. I've always been a thinker. I've always been able to manipulate things to our advantage. Me, Turtle, Mondo, Gangster, and a few others. We were always part of of a think tank, so to speak. Now there was moments when me and Mondo would sit up at night and we would talk, and he knew I had one of those type of minds. I had a photographic memory. I could see somebody do something and I'll memorize it. And he would take me around certain people just for that reason, and Turtle as well, you know what I mean? Me and Turtle, we spent an enormous amount of time together, you know what I mean? When that structure came together in the 80s, when Bo Jackson, how you doing? When the cocaine that hit LA and everything. And I was one of the very first ones to get a hold of it. And I showed Turtle what to do. I showed Mondo what to do. I showed my homie Rick Carter what to do, and it came together like really, really, really in in a way I didn't even imagine. I didn't even imagine. It was like being at the most of you been to the In and Out burgers, right? That's how it was back then. You know what I mean? That's why I use the phrase when the content is dope, it'll hit like the first and the 15th. Because back then, the first and the 15th was like the biggest things. And I'm not telling you this story for the glorification part. But what I am telling you part is that we were accountable to one another, unlike today. Unlike today. See, because what we recognized back then is that even in your family is a gang. Because if somebody come mess with somebody in your family, right? Your whole family finna come out and rock and roll. Am I right or wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong. So we all act in the capacity of that. Even the police department, the military, everybody acts, you know what I mean? They respond in a way that is with force, with deadly force. So there was times when the opposition or the ops or what we call is known as anti-crip gangs would strike at us. And before they could make it back to where they was at, we was right there on them. Then they're waiting on them to get back to their neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's just how quick and we were and strategic and surgical we were with it. You know what I mean? We were only tribe that was on Rosecrans, and the rest were anti-crip. And I don't have to name them or anything like that. That's not important. But what is important, we're talking about accountability, which we don't have today. Accountability is something that is non-existence. So when you look at today, and you're coming from McKinney Wayne Johnson, because he would say, put the word out. If we can't get it, it can't get it. If Santana can't get it, then it can't get got. Look how, just think about that moment. Let's put your neighborhood in there. If somebody say, man, if the Pyru can't get it, then it can't get got. Every Pyru listen to that. Or every Santana listen to that. That is inspiring in itself. That made people accountable. That made people want to be there for one another. Nobody would go out and do something to somebody and then go about their business and not come back, tell their loved ones, hey man, we just got into it with these cats and there's possibility they coming. So get out the way. That's what happened in our generation. Nowadays they go do something they don't care. Somebody come back and shoot 3 or 4 people. Because the dudes that got into it with the cats never came back and said anything. They just left it like it was. Didn't care. So we got to get beyond that. I'm going to understand that what I'm speaking about is like a subculture, but it is our culture. Don't make nobody make you feel bad about your culture. And that's what they do. They call you degenerates, super predators, you know, just scandalous. You know what I mean? These people got various names specifically targeted towards our culture. And that is was Turtle a founder? Turtle was there. He was there with me along with others. You know what I mean? He wasn't the founder, but he was there. I'm like, if I had to put it in perspective for me, I was there with the first generation, but I was definitely there for the second generation. In other words, second generation put the fire in the cannon. First generation, all of them was great fighters. Second generation, we had some fighters, but not as good as the first generation. And when you look at the first generation, we were all stout, we was all muscular because everybody wanted to have that toned body, that fit look, that physique, that the muscles ball popping and bulging everywhere. You look at these kids now, they all skinny, skin and bones. They on 10 different drugs, so they can't fight. Can't none of them fight. But back then we had to fight. You had to be on point. You had to be in uniform. You had to, countless of cats went down the Crip line, What's good, 5150, in order to be a part of what they want, that fantastic voyage. You know, you couldn't just walk up and say, "Hey, I'm from Santana," huh? Where they do that at? No, boy, you got to be ready for this because this is critical. Because these cats that we dealing with, we gonna introduce them to a whole lot of BS, a whole lot of it. Because they're gonna give it to us. So we had to be ready for that. And ready we were, you know. One of the Dr. Turtle said he got hit 6 times. How did that change him? It didn't change him. Got back to it, bro. Got back to it, man. I've been in with 4 or 5 of my homies been shot. Didn't change a thing. Patched them up. The ones we can pull the buckshots out, we did. Other ones we sent to the hospital, you know. We had homegirls that nurse homeboys to back together, back to health, you know. How did that fighting stop, man? The fighting stopped because people couldn't stand up, man. The fighting stopped because when the cocaine hit, that means people was able to buy surplus weaponry, military grade, extended clips. They felt like they didn't have to fight no more. They can just use that. Great firepower in the hand, you know. But this split, just think about what I just said. When I was growing up, everybody wanted a Tookie and Raymond body or a Jamel Bourne's body or a Big Jack body. You know what I mean? Or my homie JJ Johnny Jones. Johnny Jones was one of the biggest, hugest dudes I ever seen, you know. And that's counting more. There was so many dudes on her, swole with 21, 22, 23-inch arms, little small waist, muscles all in their legs, walking around like Herschel Walker, Robert Newhouse, you know, just to give them the example. These dudes was athletes, man. When I talk about Killer Wayne and Earl Huff and them cats, man, and Donnie Wayne and Darnell Miles, Glenn, Frog, Robert Thomas, Donald Duck Norwood, Chocolate, Silas Cole, Nathaniel Fletcher, Snake, Gary Miller, the Governor, Donald Prescott, Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Ranger, Jelly, they brothers, you know, Killer Raider, T-Bone, you know, just to name a few. Johnny Jones, definitely. Johnny Jones was built like a silverback gorilla, man. You just look at him and knew you didn't want to deal with whatever he was going to introduce you to. Just looking at him. Everybody wanted that frame. But in order to get that frame, you had to work for it. You didn't just get that frame. You just didn't wake up with that frame. You had to get busy, man. You had to get, you know, true hand fighters. Yeah, Bo Jackson. You had to work for that frame. And everybody, we could all go to the Red House. Turtle, myself, even all the Linwood Crips. There was no Palm and Oaks back then. It was Linwood Crips. We used to all function at the Red House on Pine and Euclid and Oaks Park and all that stuff, you know. Did that original look down upon the shooters? I don't know what you mean. Look down upon the shooters. What you mean? Everybody being on swole? Even them, man, when when the shooting start, man, I think the muscle people just got out the way and let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Because that's why, and that's what I try to tell people about Puddin', right? Puddin' wouldn't fight nobody. Puddin' wasn't gonna fight nobody. You know, he was one of the number one notable Crip at the Red House. Yeah, okay. Notable Crips at the Red House. Tookie, Tiny Man, Mad Nut, uh, Reginald, damn, Reginald Bannon, which was I can't even think his name now. But anyway, shotgun. What's up, Edward? Yeah, I'm calling you Edward. Not no damn Dr. Slick. Weasel, I meant to say. Limpy, Joe Black, Sleepy, you know, Tookie, of course, and Killer Carl, Guy Walker, you know, a lot of people, man. Let's see, what did you say? Was OG Turtle a real low? OG Turtle was one of the best that ever did it. Low riding? He inspired, for real, my big homie, Robert Lee Kitchen. Robert Lee Kitchen was like, he the one that put out that optical illusion. I think I put it up a while back. It was like green, candy green, orange, yellow, light green, dark green, emerald green. It was had multiple colors in it. Burst. It was an optical illusion. He inspired us all because he bust with that 67 back in the 60s on the Kragers. When they didn't even have wires and hubs and all that on Kragers with it pancake laying all the way to the ground. Right on, right on, right. Right on, Robert. Appreciate it. Your hands are weapons back in the yeah, they was literally weapons. We had Crip Doctor, Baby Crip, we had Bitter Dog, Batman, Lunatic, you know. I can't remember Lunatic, you know. It's my boy Green. So everybody thought the turtle at the point instead of receiving it. Wait a minute. Everybody thought like turtle at the point instead of receiving it. Yeah, yeah, you know. Because Turtle set the precedence, man. It was Turtle that inspired everybody to stop getting high or stop drinking and stop, lollygagging and goofing around. You know what I mean? Sitting and thinking, and deep meditation was my thing. You know what I mean? And you know, we all evolved. What's up, bro? Sorry to hear about your goat. Or your goat passed. Sorry to hear about that, Slick. I need to come over to get Slick. You know what? I want to get Slick on TikTok. Get him on TikTok riding that little bitty horse, slapping him on his ass. I think that would be hilarious for TikTok. You got to get another one. Slick, you want to come in with me, man? See, Slick, man, he always got some jokes. But anyway, so, well, good, Melly. This is a Watergate mud rock. What up, Watergate? One of the grandies started the what was it, Orange County Watergates. The turtle bring a lot of them got damage to of course he did, bro. Turtle was a Turtle, man, to be for real, Turtle was a millionaire. The vibe happening in from Texas, straight out of Texas. I love my Texas people, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, all of my New York people, my Jersey people. Jersey was on fire the other night, man. I love it. They was in there, man. They was in there. You got about story about the twins, Angelo. Man, I was told countless of stories. Yeah, Turtle was a millionaire, bro. But a humble one. A humble one, bro. Mad Rock interviewed on Kev Mac. Okay, got you. Yeah, Turtle was a humble one, man. Mondo was a millionaire, Gangster. All these dudes was millionaires, man. They ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say it for them. You know. I sent you the link on your thing, ball game. You couldn't use that one. All these guys were super rich, bro. Super rich. What's up, Lawrence? Broham was Turtle Flame that Boulevard, which absolutely, man. He used to love to play that Peter Brown. Do you want to get funky with me? Do you wanna? Or Eric B. And you could clap this. You clap to this. Hey, Mr. Groove. One way. That was another one of his cuts. And the Bodacious, what's up? See, Turtle looked out. See what he just said? You see what he just said? Looked out for every homeboy across all the hoods. You know. What's up, man, Wes? Shabazz. Much respect. So, and the one that played uh in the 1984 documentary you guys heard, what's the name of that? I can't think of the name of it, but you guys heard the song. I'll put it out sometime. From time to time, I'll put it out. I can't think of the name of it. Continue the world, no matter how big or small, just sending you some positive vibes from, yeah, right, man. From Texas again, man. But if y'all feel in your heart, man, drop a donation, man. Drop a donation, man. Because I'm here to give it to y'all, however y'all want it, man. I need to link up with Mondo so he can check out the two-door Bron. Okay. Salute to the ball gang. Salute to the ball game. Yeah, man. So, here we go. Let me see. Bring the ball game. Do you think that he was Lord over the? Of course he was, bro. Of course. Not because he was a millionaire, man. Because he was a threat. He was a threat, man. That's why he was in there. Ball game. What's good, man? Of course.
What up? What up? What up?
I can't hear you, bro.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
No, I'm about to turn off one.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. Still, it's kind of low. I don't know why it's low like that. You remember that yellow glass house in the documentary? You saw that, huh? Was Turtle cool with the Pyrus, and did he try to make peace? Turtle, man, we had backdoor channels with the Pyrus. Stutterbox, Randy McQuiller, a couple of others, man. We was getting that money together. When everybody else was being silly, we was exchanging money bags. That's what we was doing. Money, you know what I mean? We was moving it. Anthony Atkinson, he was along in there too. The Pyrus know what I mean when I say Anthony Atkinson was one of the ones over there too. Big Ack. They had a brother named Pup. But the funny thing about Ack, that he had a brother named Putt Putt. Putt Putt was a Crip. So one brother was a Pyro, the other was a Crip. That's just hilarious to me. The sportswear and feel it, man, and Adidas, man, that started, man. We wore that like, whew. I stayed in BJ Feeler because I was having my paper too there. I don't ever throw myself in there, but I was there. I had it too, you know what I mean? But BJ Feeler, Sergio Tacchini, what's up, ball game?
All right, homie. I'm trying to get this right.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So the BJ Feeler, the Sergio Tacchini. Of course, that was at Born George, man. Remember they had the BJ on it? If you didn't have the BJ, you was losing, bro. Right. Wait a minute. See, Melanie, I give you appreciate your work doing and wanted to give your props for holding your composure. An example when Frog was doing the do, tell you where you're doing your beats to not to show. Yeah, any animosity. Yeah, I can't do that, man. You know what I mean? Because I know Frog means well, but that's just the way he comes across. I guess I'm the official doorman right here. What up? Oh, okay. Grandson coming in. So, well, yeah. So, man, that was a different. Come on in, Kai. Come on in. Hi. Good. Kwanzaa is in his room. Yeah. Let me send the link here again. No, I'm talking on my phone. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. There you go, bro. Hit the Hood Postman, the one that said the Hood Postman, bro. Santana's was paper chasers like in the 60s, straight hustler. Yeah, true. That's a true thing, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. That's love right there. That's much love, man. I appreciate you. And shout out to you and your family, man. I don't want you to be happy. I want you to be unreasonably happy. The golden child. Okay. You like that jacket, huh? That's straight out of Compton right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me see. Boom. Yeah. Straight out of Compton. What up, Professor? How you feel about the MOB James? You know what, man? I don't feel anything about it. Because here, I'm going to speak on that right quick. I usually don't want to speak on that, right? Let me speak on that about Mob James. First and foremost, right? I've been to the feds, and I know how it pretty much operates. And I know that certain things have to occur. But I heard FG speaking, right? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me change it, bro. You got to give me a moment, man. You got to go tap on the link that I sent to your phone originally. So, you got to go. Let's see. I lost my chain of thought. Okay. When FG did the thing with Street TV, right, and he was asking him a question, FG said it himself. He never knew that James told. He got it from Lip Dog, right? So that made me curious, right? So in actuality, you really don't know if James told on you because Lip Dog told you that. But here's the thing: when I know about the feds, I don't care who you tell on, who you kill on. If you got a case with them, you're going to jail too. The people that told on me, they went to jail still, even though they told. You understand? So I don't know what Lip Dog's position was or why he did what he did, but this is what I do know. Lip Dog had priors. Lip Dog had priors. When you got priors in the feds, that's what you call an 851. 851 is an enhancement. So instead of 10 years, you're supposed to do 20. But Lip Dog only did 10. I rest my case. So back to the program. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You can't become a paid informant without being in violation of federal law. First and foremost, Slick. If you don't know the Fed. Let me ask you this, Slick. Have you ever read a federal seconds? Have you ever read the federal thirds? Have you ever read American Jurisprudence? Have you ever read the sentencing guidelines? I read all those books. I know federal law very well. I know how it operates and how it extends out. It's really federal law is supposed to be for tax. It really was created for taxes, based on tax evasion. But a lot of you guys, okay, you can believe what you want to believe. I'm just telling you what I know. Now, I don't know who told and who didn't told. I didn't say any of that, but you guys want to jump on these platforms and talk about stuff that you don't know. See, I'm talking from what I know. I don't talk from what I think or what somebody told me or what I feel. I talk from what I know. See, until you read those books, till you read the law books and understand what the law books are selling and how to interpret it, do you know what a Rule 35? Do you know what a deed of Corella? Do you know what a prima facie is? Do you know? Do you know? If you don't know none of this stuff, then you need to go learn it then that way you can relate to it more better instead of just jumping out. James may have told, I don't know. But what I'm saying, when I see things that don't line up, I got to challenge it. That's all I'm saying. I have to challenge it because my mind is going to make me challenge it. I can't just go by what somebody's telling me or just because somebody said James told or whatever. All you guys can get on that if you want to. You guys are following. You're not being a leader. Leaders get up, pick up the books, go into the law books, break it down, do the research, because here's the thing. Nobody buys paperwork. You either go to Nexus Lexus or you go to the appellates or you go to those things I just named. That's how you get case law. You don't just develop case law, just don't come up out of nowhere. People don't sell paperwork. Wack claimed he bought the paperwork for $250. I don't know about that. You there, ball game?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to explain to you guys what's behind the appearance is the reality. Don't always look. It's just like the Wizard of Oz, right? If you hadn't just paid attention to all the bells and the whistles, the screaming and hollering and all the noise that the Wizard of Oz made, you'd never would have known that he was just a little feeble old man behind a curtain until the dog pulled the curtain back. And what I'm saying, what's behind the appearance is the reality. Don't go for all that surface stuff. That same thing you guys do with religion. You go for the surface stuff and you believe Freedom of Information Act. There you go. Thank you, Joe Farrell. That's what it is. It's called a Freedom of Information Act. You want to know about James McDonald? Take his name, James McDonald, and put it in for the Freedom of Information Act and see what comes back. That way you will have first-hand information. You're not guessing. You're not going off of second and third-hand information. Black's Law Dictionary. Thank you, Joe. See, but everybody wants to propagate and talk about what somebody else don't see. Go do the work. Go do the work. That's all I'm saying. Just do the work. Take the time out. Since you want to be, you guys want to know about this stuff. Right. I challenged it. And Alex, yeah, he gon' see, because here's the thing about Alex Alonso. Alex Alonso is actually teed off about the Gangster Chronicles. So he is biased in that sense. I'm not. I call balls and strikes. I don't know who's telling the truth. But what I do know is the law books I read. I read Federal Seconds and Federal Thirds, American Jurisprudence. I read the Black's Law Dictionary, Nexus Lexus. I went to Nexus Lexus. I went the Citizen Guidelines. Citizen Guidelines, a book about that thing. It tell you, that's what I tell you. If you're out there breaking it all, go get your Citizen's Guideline book. The Citizen Guideline will tell you what you do, what you get for what you're doing, and where it breaks down. And it's like a timetable sheet. It got categories, levels, and criminal history. 3 categories you got to understand. It's 3 strikes woven into the criminal breakdown. But if you don't understand it, you be lost at it. But anyway. That's another story. Welcome to the platform, Mr. Ball Game. How you doing today?
What's happening, my brother? I'm doing well. That's a good explanation on how to find information, man. The brother Wack, I don't know about that dude. He got some credibility issues, so I'll just put that out there, man. How you doing today, Melly?
I'm doing well, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
They need the base offense level. See? And here's the thing, too, man. I'm telling you, man. Listen, the guy that told on me, man. If I saw him right now, I'm gonna speak to him and say, "Hello, man. How you doing?" See, because whatever he told them people or however he did it, it was my fault for allowing him in my business.
Yeah,
my fault, not his fault. My fault.
Yeah. I mean, the game always teaches us you got to be careful. You did. Well, I never looked at it like that until you said that to me the other night.
Hey, I didn't say Mob James didn't admit it, bro. I'm still not saying Mob James didn't tell. That's not my argument. My argument is that the paperwork don't line up, and the people that saying that he told, the way they explain it, it doesn't make sense to me. based on what I read in the citizen guidelines, based on what I read, what I know about the law. No way, Lip Dog could have got 10 years if he had priors. There's no way. It's a mandatory minimum.
Game always teaches us you got to be careful. I never looked at it like that until you see it.
So let's move on though. Ball game. How was your day, man?
You know, my day was good, man. I had a very productive day, my brother. I, like you say, I did a lot of research today. I talked to a lot of people, and you can probably tell them what we've been talking about, some of the things that we want to do. And I had a good day today. Yourself, man?
Man, I be having some amazing days, man, because especially when people try to challenge me on stuff that I know, you know what I mean? And then when I break it down to them, man, they stop talking.
Yeah.
Because when at the end of the day, people just passing around bad information and not doing the work themselves. Go do the work. If you really need to know, they all had priors. They took deals. You can't take a deal if you got a prior. It don't matter. 851 during that time, 2001, they didn't care what you took a deal on. They still was giving you that dub, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was there.
Yeah.
My homeboy Gangster, me and him had the same crime. They gave me 10 and gave him 20 because he had a prior. During the same year, man. We caught our case in 2001. We fought it all the way up to 2003. Nothing changed then. The prior thing just recently changed about maybe, I think around about 2010, I think they changed it.
So they gave Gangster a 10-year enhancement on his prior?
Yes.
Whoa.
That's what the feds say. Say, for instance, you get a drug trafficking case, right? Thanks, Stan. Right. Appreciate it. And you had a prior like in the 80s, like stand on the corner, slanging whatever you had. A possession, you could have had just been in possession of it. The feds would take that and say, hey, you've been doing this. You keep doing the same thing. Now we're going to punish you for doing this way back in 86 because the priors go back. Your felony priors go back 15 years. Your misdemeanor priors go back 10. Traffic tickets are 1 point. You got a traffic ticket, 1 point. You got a failure to appear, that's 2 points. Oh, they cold with it, ball game. They got T's and got nines in there, bro.
Yeah, I never caught a Fed case. I caught that one state case, like you said. I caught a case in '89, did 15 months on it, and I haven't been back since. But I've had a lot of homeboys that under Fed time, and they could never break it down to me, the sentencing structures of how you're doing it right now, how you're breaking down how they get points in these particular situations, man. I never knew that, Melly. I'm just glad that you at home and you are here to do what you're doing, because that 10 years, 20 years, that's a long time, man. You got a lot of people who do that type of time and they can't come back out here and they can't function. You know what I mean? And me being a witness, I can, you doing well for yourself, being very productive. You know what I'm saying? So I have a question for you, man. How do you come from up under a situation like that and have been able to accomplish some of the things that you've been able to accomplish?
Well, while I was there, I got very focused. And I put my heads in the law book. See, while I was there, people would say, "Man, let's go." Because I was at Turner Island. I was at Club Fed. I was at Club Fed for real. I was eating. They had crab, shrimp, steak. They had all that there. They even gave you a really nice soft pillow and a big old comfortable mattress. They made you real comfortable because they knew you would be there for a while, right?
Right.
So what I did, I used to walk past. They had the life cycle bikes and machines and all that. They had top notch equipment, right, for physical fitness and stuff, right. I used to walk past that every day going to the law library. Say, man, well, let's go work out, man. I can work out when I get out. I get a gym membership once I get out of prison, But I'm going to the law library because that's the only it holds the keys over there. See, when you go in the law, right, you got the federal seconds, federal thirds, but you also got the keys. They got the books that got keys on them. Those are the keys. The keys would be what?
The door opener.
That is it. So I stated the keys. I read the Federal Second, Federal Thirds using case law to find comparisons, but the keys, you got to get in the keys. The keys open the door.
Open the door, yeah. Well, like having been subjected to that, a lot of brothers come home and they're not mentally stable. You understand what I'm saying? And another question that I have, how did in something like that, how do you stay sane, especially when you got sons and daughters on the streets? Some of the brothers and sisters left wives.
Hey, Cynthia.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing to do, man, because I actually got all the things I had, all the money I accumulated, all the property, all the valuables. People got to do what they wanted to do with it because I was there no longer to control it, or even if I told them to do something with it, they did what they wanted to do with it.
Interesting.
So therefore, it all got sorted out and split up and disrespected and everything else. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the moment I realized I was gonna be there, I just let it all go. Here, go. Don't even think about it no more. But guess what, man? Man, they say, man, the sun shine on a gnat's butt every now and then. Every now and then, even on a broken clock, if it's stuck on 6 o'clock, it's gonna be 6 o'clock twice a day, right?
Yeah.
I got up in that law library and I started studying, and I won on 2 cases. I won on the time and I won on some property and money. And I was able to get that back. And I was able to come out and, be okay,
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. A lot of people don't know that law library saved a lot of people, man.
Yeah, saved, man. You messing this up. You tearing it up. He over here tearing up his little coloring thing. Y'all, excuse me a little second. Here. You got your crayon? Yeah, that's a big old, I don't know what it is, but go ahead, color. Get your crayons. Yeah, there you go. Color. All right.
Sorry about that. Them grandkids, that's cool. Yeah. So, well, like I said, man, you got a lot of brothers that go into the feds or go into some of these state penitentiaries, and they do the opposite. They don't educate themselves. They don't put themselves in a position to where when they get out there,
the Goob show. The Goob, y'all follow the Goob on this show, y'all. Yeah. He gonna take y'all to Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Pluto. They just renamed Pluto another. They made it a planet again, y'all. In case y'all didn't know.
What up, Goob? Goob, you got to get me on there, man. We got to talk about them Steelers, man. We got to talk about them Steelers, bro. So but
thank you, Marlena Williams.
A lot of people get into those particular situations and they don't come back 100, or they come back with a real disdain for the justice system, man. And it appears to me that you took advantage of that time to do something productive, because you got a lot of brothers that go to the pen, and they, of course, they affiliated with they sis, they start gang banging, they start getting involved with these prison games. Some of them get cut, they become cut members and all those types of things, so salute to you, Melly, for being able to navigate your way, through that particular adversity. That's some commendable stuff, man.
Well, let me say this to you, too, ball gang. When I got there, they had a big old building that has psychology on there.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had therapists there for people that they think they couldn't do their time, or they had problems. They had the pastoralship there. They had the Catholicism, they had Islam, they had Christianity, they had the Rastafarian movement there. They had the what's the guys that believe Oatness, the guys that believe in the Viking stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they had the Jewish. I sat with the Jewish people in the sukkah. You know what I mean? Just trying to get an understanding of it. So yeah, they accommodated all sorts of kind of things and situations. We had I was part of the where I can buy from the kosher store and halal. You know what I mean? I can buy outside the institution. I was part of that. You know, so it was a lot of different things. I mean, you know, they like I say, they make you very comfortable.
Well, let me ask you this. Talk about can you talk about some of the things that went on there that wasn't comfortable, you know, like, you know, having to deal, you know, with the you know, I heard that the federal correctional officers, I heard some stories where once, you know, some of the brothers would pull up in the buses, get off the buses, and the federal correctional officers would just start taking off and
That's
whoop
in the
them up.
USPs.
Okay.
So I went to a medium, and then while I was there, they changed it over to a low. So you know,
Okay.
I mean, that was fine for me. I wasn't trying to see nothing else.
What's the USPs?
USPs is a United States prison.
I got you. Okay. Okay. So that was more you that would be more like upper level, like
Yes, a level
upper.
4.
I
But
got
let
you,
me
level
tell you
4.
something, man. You people, they think them level 4 Californians is dangerous. Them USPs is more dangerous. And the reason why, you got dudes from New York, you got dudes from DC, you got dudes from Florida, you got dudes from Detroit, and everybody looking to have a stake. Everybody looking to have a piece of the game. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
dudes in there playing the stamps. That was the currency.
Okay.
Book of stamps was at that time was like $6. So that's how you dealt in there. Whether you was gambling, whether you buying goods, whether you was buying drugs, whatever your take, you had to have, you know, 200 books of stamps to do certain things, or you know, whatever whatever you was doing in there, it was if you was gambling, because man, you talking about tickets, they run high dollar tickets in the feds, bro.
Yeah.
High
Well,
dollar.
you know. Yeah.
They have poker. They have poker games in there going all day, every day. Some dudes don't do nothing but sit at the poker table all day.
You know. Wow. Well. Can you talk? Did you run into some celebrities in there, or some other brothers that was like minded, such as yourself?
Yeah,
You
of
know what I'm
course,
saying?
man. One of my celly was a guy named his name was Neville King. His father was actually a judge, so he was all his family was very educated. His nephew is Trevor Ariza. Yeah, so he was very. And then I was in there with Gambino. I was in there, the actual guy from Casino, Mister what was his name? Rennie. His name is Rennie. I can't remember his last name, but
Really?
Big Don
Mm-hmm.
was in there. Then there was Philip Zangi. You know, the
Philip.
guy that owned Indian Motorcycle.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You know. Well, like I say, that
His name was Rennie Picarello. That was his name. He
yeah,
was
Rudy
the original
Picarello.
guy
Yeah.
from the casino. And then there was a guy named Nick Rash. Nick Rash was an international jewel thief and gambler.
I would have liked to met him.
And then I interviewed one guy on my channel. His name is Ray Torres. He was in there for stealing artwork from Wayne Newton, selling it on the black market.
Oh, okay. What did he do? Break in his house or something?
I don't know. I think he got it through some kilos, some deals or something. Somebody, you know what I mean, set him up. But anyway, you go look at his interview. It's on. His name is Ray Torres. He's doing really well now.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out, man.
Mel, did they move you around, or did they? I stayed in California. I stayed in I stayed in California, man. But like they got like Larry Hoover and my guy, the Supreme General of the BGF, Doc Holliday. They all in the ADX. It's up in Florida. I mean, not Florida. It's in Colorado, and it's Florence, Colorado, and ADX is underground. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get Ace on here. Ace is from Looters, one of Cynthia's homeboys. He was in there. Ace was like Ace got one of the craziest stories in the world, man. They sent Ace to ADX, right? Jeff Ford, yep, that's right. They sent him to ADX, right? And at that time, they was doing an experiment on the brothers, right?
What type of experiment?
With Digital Angel. See, let me explain this to you too, man. All the experiments and all the different things they do, they got little towns up in Colorado where they initiated first, right? Just like the no currency, they got a town up in Colorado that don't use no currency. All you can do is use a card, right?
Mhm.
So at the ADX, they was planting micro digital implants into the to the inmates, and they did Ace like that. And Ace came out and they was having him rob banks through mind control. And
Really?
Ace got caught. So when they brought him back to MDCLA, and I'm gonna try to get him on so he can tell y'all this, but I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit of it. So when me and Ace had the same judge. We had his name was what was his name? I can't even think of his name either. But anyway, he was a little old white man. He used to sit up there like he was asleep, man. But anyway, like he wasn't paying attention, man. But he was so used to putting black people away, you could see that he didn't even care, you know. But anyway, when Ace attorneys start raising their idea or alleging that his client had been experimented on in the ADX, that judge perked up just like to see it, like a jackrabbit, right? And when he said, "Yeah, well, if the government don't believe that my client hasn't been experimented on while in the custody of the ADX, then let's give him an MRI." The judge shut down the whole courtroom and wouldn't allow it.
Whoa.
It wouldn't allow it. But I got to get Ace on here to tell you the story, man. But yeah.
Wow.
Stephen B. Wilson is the judge. Anybody want to look him up? Stephen B. Wilson. Stephen B. Wilson.
A lot of brothers from San Diego did fair time, you know, and they a lot of brothers out of Lincoln Park, a lot of brothers out of 5-9, a lot of brothers out of West Coast, you know, and they came back with some of the same stories. One of the brothers from West Coast that did time in Colorado, he said that was the worst federal penitentiary he ever been to.
Yeah. Yeah, see, the thing about it, as far as somebody asked the question about the DC boys, right? They don't have no prison system. They used to have what was called Lawton. They closed it down, right? So any crime you commit in DC is a federal crime. Whether it's you stealing a bag of potato chips, they sending you to the feds for that.
Oh, because it's the same thing like in Virginia because it's a commonwealth, right?
Well, no, it's not even a state. In Virginia, you can actually go to the state, but in DC you can't because DC has no representation.
Okay.
It doesn't have a senator.
Okay.
So it's not even a state. So everything is federal. Any crime you commit there is feds. So they have an enormous amount of guys in the feds from DC. But what happens when they start packing up in there, they start, you know what I mean? Most of them are serious booty bandits.
Oh no.
Yeah, most of them. And then you have the Mariel Cuban people. They in there, booty bandits, because they've been in there so long, you know. Yeah, most of them.
Wow.
And then you have the. You're right, Melly. I'm from VA.
I don't care how much time I got to do. That ain't happening. You know
Boulevard.
what I'm saying? You know that I mean, you know that right there. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that would even engage or practice in homosexuality was a fag in the first place.
Yeah, DC is a district. That's right. That's right. It's not a state. It's a district.
Yeah, because
it's the District of Columbia.
But that's what I was saying because I went to school in Virginia, and Virginia was the Commonwealth, and anything that you did there, you had to appear in front of a federal magistrate.
Yeah, they got a plenty. Marlena was serious. Most of those guys, they be like, hey, they be saying, hey, yo, Joe, look at Shorty over there. That's how they talk, man. You go,
like
Joe,
that.
Joe, you jive like this, Joe. I see you, Joe. You know.
Like
They
Fleece
sex play
Johnson.
each other up in there, man.
Like that brother Fleece Johnson on that prison documentary. Yeah. Well, that's that. I don't know, man. That's a cold one for me. I'm glad that I was able to escape that Fed time, though. You know what I mean? So, nah, Marlena, I'm serious. She's saying I'm funny. Nah, I'm serious about that.
I'm glad to hear that you're aware of the mind and manipulation of technology chips and our absolute remote. Yeah, I read about it. Once Ace put me up on it, man. Because if you want to know about everything I'm talking, go read William Milton Cooper. He's a Navy intelligence officer. He wrote about the digital angel and all these microchips, and he wrote about the ADX. He wrote about the secret missile bases up there where they got all the statues and Dakotas in Colorado, where they got a secret city up there that you never know is there, but it's there. And they doing all this surveillance and monitoring and experiment. They doing all that up there, man. And they use inmates, federal inmates, to do that.
Yeah, because, but what was the experience? What was they trying to
mind control?
Mind control.
So Ace went out and Ace used to tell me, man, he was walking by the bank and they said, go in the bank. Go in the bank right now. Go in the bank. Go in there, give him a note. Take the money. And he would do it. And he did it because he had already been in there for bank robbery. So when he got out, they started making him do it again. And when they brought him back, Ace is on the streets right now because them people didn't want to expose whatever Ace was telling them, and Ace and the attorney what they were alleged in court. They went on and let Ace out. They would not give that man an MRI to prove him wrong or right. Didn't do it.
Yeah, because they didn't want that experiment to be exposed because they know that would have
You're right, Boulevard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That'd have been worldwide.
Somebody say, please, the booty warrior.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was dude, you know what I mean? On that one prison documentary when he was talking about shit, booty was more important.
That dude that they got on Boondocks, that's a DC dude. I like you, and we can do this two ways. We can do the easy way or the hard way. That's a DC dude right there, man. That is a typical. If you go watch the Boondocks of the dude that in there be taking the booty, that's a typical DC dude right there. Typical.
Wow. Hey man, they say that the DC brothers was getting into it with the Aryans in there, huh? They say it went down.
DC boys was getting into it. They got into it. They got into it with the homeland, right?
Okay.
Man, we came together them like Voltron. We came together like Autobots. The Bloods and the Crips. Come on, man. We ain't finna let the Bloods go, and the Bloods ain't finna let the Crips go.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for that.
They went on about their business, you know.
Yeah.
Once they felt it.
Yeah.
Man, Ace, BC, and White Boy and couple man, they went so hard on them, man. Come on, man. Went hard on them.
That's what I heard. You know, a lot of brothers from San Diego was got down with that as well. But that's where I got the story from. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't gonna say
all the cats from Northeast and Berry Farms and all that stuff, man. You know, I get to them, man. They for real, they ain't no different from us, man. They just got a high number of booty bandits. They got, don't get me wrong, they got some cool cats out of DC too. I knew a couple of them, and I used, chop it up with them,
Hey, how long did you do in Terminal Island? You know what I'm saying? Tell us how
10.
You met Raphael. Yeah.
I did 10.
You did 10. Oh, so you did the whole time in Terminal Island.
Yeah. Actually, I did 2.5 in MDC LA and the rest in Terminal Island.
Oh, okay, okay. The 2 years was just going back and forth to court?
Yes, 2.5 years, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
ball game.
Yeah.
Them people had a picture of me because I used to have a special spot between two garages, and you had to climb up on a ladder and get down, and the slot was about like this. And I said, put it down and pull it up.
Yeah.
And people got a picture of me like this here, looking up in the air. Because on either side, you can't see nothing, right? So only way they took a picture of me was either through a satellite or some drone that was like way, way up that I couldn't see.
Oh wow! So they got you didn't even know you didn't even know they was taking a picture of you.
No, and the picture looked like this. It was like a big old poster.
Wow.
When I saw that, because they got to read my name, right? They said, Melvin Gibson, you charged with 851. You charged with 841 AB, and 846 was a conspiracy, right? And then I had a 10 kilo, right? So they got to read the names, right? And they had me running. Other words, I always like to say I was running a pharmaceutical without a license. That's what, and I had the money laundering and purchase of things that I couldn't explain. Let me say that. So when they was reading the names, they read about 6 names. I'm looking at my turn like, who are they talking about? that ain't none of my. How they get them names?
Yeah.
Them people came up with names I forgot about. Yeah.
Boy, so that lets you know how long they be watching, how long they be having that
right,
microphone.
That's my loved one right there.
Oh wow. That lets you know that they'll watch you for 2 and 3 years, and man, crazy.
Yeah, they watch you for quite a long time.
And that's how come they're able to estimate how much money a brother done made.
Man, we was all with the homies. My homie Gangster rented a tractor trailer car hauler, right? He put about 10 low riders on it to take it to Vegas to the Super Show. So I'm sitting there, right? I'm gonna stay. I ain't going this time. I'm staying. I ain't going, right? So I'm standing out there looking. I see these people come down the street with a camera, just went by. I'm like, what was that? I said, gee, you see that? He said, yeah, they with us, man. That's the film crew that's going with us. I said, film crew? I said, man, I don't know, G. That didn't look right, man. You sure they with us? He said, yeah. Man, we get out to the show, see that same film crew. I'm like, man, something ain't right about it. But ironically, it was some people that came over from France that was doing that, the little game. What's the game called? Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, okay.
When they was putting the homies in there, G and Twin them all up in there, right? They was actually doing the film work, right? But there was a secondary film crew, man, that I couldn't account for. But what they said that they had to take real precaution with me because I was always doing counter surveillance. I was always doubling back. I would get off the freeway, jump back on, double back, come back and look again. Man, one day I'm on the 210 and I'm transitioning from the 210 to the 605. So it's a white lady and white man in the car, and we met. Our eyes met at the same time. We looked at each other. They looked at me, and I looked at them. But something happened between us. I said, man, that show was some weird stuff. You know what I mean? It was like the energy was like really strange. So when me and Gangster got picked up, right, and they did like I did this federal forfeiture seizure. They cordoned off one side of the whole sheriff department, and they was putting cars in there. They was seizing cars and property and all this stuff, putting it over there. So Gangster in one car, I'm in another car, and we looking at each other. And when he raised up, when I looked to see, I said, I knew what it was, because prior to that, I was looking for Gangster for a whole day and couldn't find him. He wasn't answering his phone or nothing.
So he was already picked up.
Yes. So when I saw him that morning, when they grabbed me, because I come up out of my driveway, when I come up out of the driveway, they were sitting. I couldn't see through the car. Like the front windshield had 10 on it, right? I couldn't see who was in it. So I'm like, damn, that's a strange place because there ain't no car supposed to be sitting right there. Because I had a real long driveway. So when I hit the corner, boom, the lights came on. They got in behind me. So they take me over there. They pull me over and they tell me who they are. And at that point, they tell me that I need to go with them. So I cooperated. I'm thinking, okay, let me call my attorney. Let me call my bills. But
Right.
man, none of that stuff working.
Oh yeah, not with them feds, huh?
None of that stuff working, man.
Interesting. Wow, man.
Yeah, so when I saw Gangster, man, I knew it was all bad, man. You know what I mean? And
they wouldn't got him first.
So back to the lady, the white man and the white lady, right? So the lady come walking up. She say, "Hey, Mr. Gibson, finally meet you in person now. You remember that day you saw something? I thought we had blew our cover because you looked right at us." I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I did know who you were. I just didn't acknowledge it, but yeah. You know,
Wow.
she said she introduced herself as Iris Agent Zena Peterman and Special Agent such and such Elliot. You know, these people actually thought they was playing some type of video game. The way they executed and did things, because they had a couple of standoffs with a couple of homies. You know, they had barricaded themselves in the house and they had to call in the SWAT and all that stuff. You know, then we had Gangster had deputy. We had deputy and Majestic. The pit bulls in the backyard, they was afraid of them. You know, so yeah, they went through it for a minute.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can tell they probably picked up Gangster first. They probably thought he was the ringleader.
They did. They grabbed him first.
And by this time, Turtle was already gone, right?
Why do America have basements? That's a good question, bro. They don't have no basements in California, but
they got them basements for those basements were supposed to be a precaution just in case the Japanese came over here and dropped some more bombs. They started that in 1945, 46.
True.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's why we got basements. You know. Yeah, so the basements, they were used as bomb bunkers. You know, my old high school here in Lincoln High School here in San Diego, they still got a bomb bunker right there.
Wow. You know? Yeah, Joe Farrell said they got them in Detroit too.
Yeah, they got them in Detroit as well.
I know they got them in New York, right? In Jersey.
Them white folks got scared of them. Got scared of them Japan. Got scared of Japan with that Pearl Harbor thing. So that's when they start fortifying the houses with basements.
Greco-Roman. What do you mean? What you talking about? Biblical stuff? I'm talking about somebody in the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I can see the chat on this side.
98% conviction rate. Peers are patient. Yeah, they very patient, man. They very, like I say, man, they had that big old picture of me, man. How was I going to defend that, you know? They got
they had the picture on the court.
Guy, right, ball game. And we used to have him cleaning up the yard. He came up to me, he said, "Hey, Mel." I said, "What's going on, man?" He said, "Man, listen, man. It's probably gonna be the last time you see me." I said, "Why?" He said, "Man, let me show you something." He said, "See that pole right there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "There's a camera up there." I said, "Come on, man, get out of here." He said, "Nah, man, I saw him put it up there." Because, you know, he was up all times of night because he was getting high and whatever. And he saw him actually put the camera up there, right? So I don't believe him the first time he tell me that, right? So, but then I started thinking about it. I said, I did see somebody up there messing with that pole. I did see somebody. So I started trying to get close. I tried to get one of the dudes, you know, the smoker dudes, go climb that pole, man, see what's up. Hey, man. That man got on that pole. God, them people came from everywhere. Not the feds, but the sheriffs. Because the feds use the sheriffs to deflect and interact. Really? You know what I'm saying?
But they put the camera up there deflected right on your residence or just something down?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. And what year was this?
2001. We got arrested 5 days before 9/11.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
Lakeisha say basements are setups.
They can. Well, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the chat. They use them for many different things. Somebody said for tornadoes. Somebody said freeze lines. You know what I mean? But the initial thing, you know what I'm saying? When them Japanese dropped them bombs on Pearl Harbor, they thought they was gonna the government thought that those planes was gonna be able to reach further inland, and they start fortifying those houses in some of these other places. You know what I'm saying? Calling them basements. You know. To be able to protect themselves from the Japanese dropping bombs on them.
Yeah,
And
they
then
was watching Death Row. The feds, they had I forgot, they had a special unit running around in Compton, man, mixed up
where say that at? Let me see.
FBI, ATF, DEA, sheriffs, and IRS agents. They were specifically in Compton to dismantle, certain movement.
Well,
Yeah, many gangsters was codependents, man.
That's what the feds do. That's what the feds do, though. You know what I mean? They, you know, once they get a line on something, you know what I'm saying, they immediately start investigating. And
Right.
like somebody said in the chat, you know, they'll wait 3 and 4 years sometimes to get people, man. I don't know, it don't make no sense to me.
And man, the worst part about it, man, how they got my neighbors they got certain neighbors that I've been knowing since I was a kid to cooperate with them.
And the neighbors think, they probably told the neighbors, if you say something, you're gonna be an accessory.
That's exactly what they told them, and they told them because some of them neighbors, was getting product,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they would, like, everybody that they caught would, whatever they had, you know what I mean. They waited, get them at least 5 or 6, 10, 20 miles away from the location. Yeah, this one guy, his name was Ronald Hamilton, right? So I'm sitting there. He got 10 yickens, right? I'm telling him, man, listen, man, go this way, do this, do that. He don't listen to nothing I tell him. This man drive down Rosecrans, run into a traffic stop, smoking a blunt with 10 yickens in the trunk.
Wow. Really?
But guess what? He beat it.
How did he do that? Was that a Fed case?
Yeah, it was a Fed case. He was on the case, but he beat his.
How though?
Because they did it in a traffic stop, and when they asked him to search the trunk, he told them no, and they did it anyway.
And they did it anyway. Yeah.
He beat the case.
Yeah.
He worked on the house upstate New York and trapdoors and all that from the Underground Railroad. Oh yeah, okay, bro, right on.
Somebody was asking me in the chat, how do we reunite Southeast San Diego? You know what I mean? And shit, everybody, you know what? I remember Big Devil saying, we got to go into the hood, man. And well, my thing is, you got a lot of older brothers here in San Diego right now, man, that just don't even want to be bothered with the bullshit that's going on and with the disrespect of these youngsters, man. You got some of the G's here in San Diego is literally fed up with these youngsters, man. So going to go talk to them and holding them accountable, it's not even worth the effort for some people.
Right.
Me myself, I'm still in the fight because that's just something that I do. But I pick and choose my battles. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know who I can go talk to. I know who the shooters are out here. And you can call me a little crazy or whatever you want to call me. But I'll pull up on those types of dudes. Why? Because I know them. I've established relationships with their families. you know, some of us has been able to stop some of the things that's been going on here in San Diego. How do we reunite? You did what I'm saying. That's going to be an individual thing, man. You got people that got to start. People got to look in the mirror and start holding themselves accountable for their bullshit.
Right,
you know what
right,
I mean?
right.
You know, because a lot of the shit that's happening here in San Diego it's I always like to say we acting out for no reason, man. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, man. Before we can unite Southeast San Diego, man, we got to figure out how to get these kids off this fentanyl and off and off some of these other mind altering drugs that's making them go out into the streets. You dig what I'm saying? And do some of the things that they do, because a lot of
ball
these
games. 1 minute. Let me address this one question.
Go ahead.
JS, listen. The Grand Theft Auto, that first game or something, has something G had something to do with it. I don't remember the extent of it because it wasn't my deal. It wasn't my call on it, what they were doing. But he had something to do. I don't remember what the extent of it was. You understand? So I just know they was filming the lowriders and stuff, and I was in there. So, you know, I don't recall exactly what it was. But go ahead. But ball game. So, Four Corners of Death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who thought of that name?
You know what, Melly? I can't call it. I want to say Stacy Butler out of Lincoln Park. You know, I want to say Stacy Butler out of Lincoln Park coined it, the Four Corners of Death, but I'm not too sure. But it was the moniker fit that particular corner. You know what I mean?
Somebody said that's where all the hoods meet.
No, that's not. Well, it's not. That's not where all the hoods meet. Well, I think Real Wilson.
Green Cat Liquor.
Yeah, Green Cat Liquor. I think they. It's not where all the hoods meet. It's just that it's across. It go. The streets go north. The street goes north, south, east, west. So at that stoplight, if you go east, you're going to go into Skyline. You're going to go into 69th and Imperial, where they got a whole separate Pyru set over there. You're going to go into Lamita Village, where the Hispanics is at. If you go south of the Four Corners of Death, you're going to wind up in Lincoln Park. You're going and all you got to do is bust that right on Oliveira right there that turns into Logan. Going down that street, you're going to turn into Lincoln Park, 5-9. You keep straight all the way past 35th and National. Then you're going in the West Coast, Logan Heights. Logan Heights is I think Logan Heights is the biggest Hispanic gang here in San Diego, between them and National City, Old Town.
You said if you make a right, you in Lincoln. If you hit Logan.
Yeah, you hit Logan. If you make a right and hit Logan, you're going to be right in the dip. That's Lincoln Park. But as soon as you pass a mile and a half down the street, you pass 45th Street, you're going right into the 5-9 Brim set.
Wow. Wait a minute. So, Spears, Magnolia, 3rd, Uptown. We have to forgive ourselves and confess. Confess to who?
Yeah, that's a good. But he probably saying confess to Ja. You know, but I kind of think that not repent, but to confess our wrongs. We can't beat these. We can't beat these.
Well, y'all know how I feel about that, man. I ain't confessing to nobody.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not doing.
I don't care who they is.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not doing. Michael Corleone did that for me, and when he did that, that changed my mind. And I'm not. So 40.
Don't get me wrong, chat room. I talk about these stories, but trust me, I leave out all the grave detail, but I make the story interesting enough that you get the picture.
yeah. And I do too.
Confessions here, brother.
Well, I got so many stories. I got a story, man, that happened to me, and I'm gonna tell you how these females play a part in the bullshit sometime when it comes to Bloods and Crips. And like you, Melly, you know, we was hustlers. We was getting money. A brother
Most
had a
of
lot.
y'all don't know the God until you meet the devil. So I don't even want to hear that. Everything the God, the devil, all that stuff, man. I don't know, man. Go ahead, Ballgame. Sorry.
No, you're all right, man. So anyway, man, I was dealing with this one sister, and she was Crip affiliated. She was non-affiliated, but she was Crip affiliated, and she was a fine little sister. And back in those days, chasing that womb, sometimes can get you in trouble, which I was doing. And me and the little sister went out. We had a real good time, and went to dinner. I took her and showed her some things that she ain't never seen before, and kind of went back to her house. I seen where she lived at. I knew it was right in the heart of Crip neighborhood. It was in the heart of East Dago, and it was a bunch of West Coast Crips, neighborhood Crips, and East Dago mob Crips was all living in this one particular neighborhood. I kind of cautious myself against going over that way. I tell her, well, look, let me just drop you off. We'll get together some other time, and we'll do something else. I want you to come over to, to where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? And, because, this right here is not too safe for me. But at the time, at that time in 93, 94, it was really going down. And 92, 93 was really a time where I think San Diego had the most killings that it's ever had. So the gunplay was really going down. So I had the boogeyman on me. So she's like, no, just come up. There's nobody here. It's my place. Nobody comes over here. There's nobody, blah, blah, blah. We got the fooling around in the car, doing a little bit of kissing. I'd start doing some fondling, and before I knew it, old boy down there stood up, you know what I'm saying? And she convinced me to go on up in there, you dig? So when I get up in there, me and her is kicking it. We kicking it on the couch, and we having a good time. And I remember it started raining. I had the boogeyman, it started raining. So me and her, she started playing some music. I remember her having some drink or something. We get to drinking. So as we doing what we doing on the couch and chilling, I keep hearing some rattling coming from the back. It was some rattling. I'm asking her, what's that rattling going on? You know what I mean? She was like, no, don't worry about that. It's just something loose back there. It's windy outside. It's about to start raining. Peep game, man. I get up and tell her, let me go use the restroom. So I get up and go use the restroom. The door to her bedroom is cracked. And I see two shadows walk past her bedroom. Now the apartment complex in the back, there ain't supposed to be nobody back there. So I look, I go in the bathroom and do what I do. I hear whispering outside the bathroom window. Little mama done called her people to come holler at me. I got him over here.
Wow.
So when I go sit down next to her and I look, and I say, check this out. I thought you told me you wasn't gang related. She said, what are you talking about? I said, I hear some brothers outside your bathroom window saying my name. And they saying your name. I said, what are you doing? Are you so? And at the time she had one of them little two ways. She telling these fools that I'm in the house, man. I grabbed her by her hair. I put the thing to her head and I kicked down the door and I walked her outside. I walked her outside into the middle of the apartment complex, backed her up. I had her in the headlock like this. I had
as you should.
Yeah, I didn't even, all I seen was the shadows. I didn't know who it was back there. But I heard them say my name and I heard them say her name.
Your intuition, man.
You dig what I'm saying?
Your survival skills kicked in.
Yeah, so Melly, I put the thing to her head and I drenched and I had my mouth on and she's trying to scream and then she ended up biting. When I got to the car at the time I had a 81 baby Lincoln because I was gonna low ride it.
Uh-huh.
I was about to build it. I had just bought the car. It was clean. So as I get to the car, I open the car door. I got her, and I'm looking around, but I'm looking from the back because from where the apartment complex was, where my car was parked, whoever was back there, if they came from back there, they had a drop on me from where they was at. As I get to the car, I get in the car, I pull her in the car, I turn on the car, she bites my hand. This right here was from her biting. She bites my hand. When she bites my hand, I slap her in the head with the pistol. By this time, the car is on. I put the car in reverse and I speed, but she's still on me. I end up dragging out. I end up pulling out the driveway. She's still in the car. She ended up flopping in the car. Ladies, I'm sorry, but I got to keep it 100. I kicked her in the stomach. I don't know how good I got her, but as I started speeding down the driveway, two brothers came from out the back and lit the car up. Lack, 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 lack.
He told this coloring thing. Yeah.
So they come from the side of the building, man, and my intuition, like you said, my intuition saved my life because they came from the back and just start busting. And so I ended up taking the car to my grandmother's house and putting it in the garage. And I called my brother. I told him, I said, man, this bitch just tried to set me up, blah, blah, blah. So my brother come over there, my brother Melly, he comes over there. So my brother like, you want to go back and get at this? I said, no, we can't go back right now. I said, look, they done shot up the car, man, about 6 bullet holes in the car, man. And there was one bullet hole. Those baby Lincolns got a metal plate in the door panel.
Uh-huh.
There was one bullet hole that hit that door right where I was sitting, and that slug didn't go through.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I tell that story to say that a lot of females is responsible for getting a lot of brothers laid down.
True.
You know what I mean?
True, man. You know.
And to this day,
that was survival, man. Survival, survival mode kicked in.
Yeah. You know.
Don't break it. Leave it down.
You know, and I never saw that sister again. We went back the next day to do our probe. You know what I'm saying? Because if I had a chance, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna knock it on the damn floor and break it.
I probably should have busted on her.
Don't be joking for her.
What are you doing?
With you? No. What do you want?
You want to get tipped up? Was that one of your grandbabies, man? So
yeah. Thank you, JP. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So you know, so I you know, so after that I was always cautious. Oh, hey, what's up, little brother?
Look at him smile. He's teasing there.
Yeah, is he on the camera? He's a handsome little dude, Melly.
Say hi.
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 How old is he, Melly? How old is he? 3?
He finna be what, 2, 3? Next month, 3.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. So yeah, man. So so that's that was one time that I did get set up. It never happened again. But and you know what was so crazy?
What's that?
It was she used exactly the kryptonite that has gotten a lot of brothers killed, man. That Wu-Tang.
Man, that's what I got on the thing. Accountable. Kryptonite. Yeah, accountability is like kryptonite.
Yeah, man. Boy. You know.
But I get what you said. I get what you said. You're right.
And that particular situation, man, that happened to me in 91, man. And 91, 92, man. And after that, I had always been cautious of females. You know, especially females from hoods, from sets.
Well, I know y'all. a lot of people in the chat, you guys ain't saw her in a while, but they know of Crip Crazy, right? And Crip Crazy is little homegirl, right? And she had called me one day, and she got in a situation, but she, she got hers with her, and they got theirs with them. But they all these people. This to show you how crazy this day and time. All these people knew one another.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of them, man. All of them wound up in the same hospital.
Ain't that something?
But that's how ridiculous these young kids are. You know what I mean? They'll be kicking it and talking to one another, and then next thing you know, they all shooting one another.
Yeah, and well, you said it. We represent the red and the blue, but when something happens, we end up in the same cemeteries. Man, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, bang different hoods, but end up in the same cemetery.
Yeah. It don't make.
So what can we do about these kids, ball game?
I'm still trying to figure it out, Melly. You know what I mean? First of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, the biggest problem facing our communities right now is drug use, man, and the negative effects of social media, bruh. You know what I mean? So until we get a hold on that particular problem, another thing that we facing that's having real gross consequences on our communities too is still absentee fathers, man. You know what I mean? We done made some strides in the past couple of decades where you got more black men, standing up and holding themselves accountable for their children, and that's a good thing. But it's not happening fast enough. We still have to address that problem. Man.
Right. Where did those kids learn that behavior from? Where did you think they learned it from? Stillmatic TV. You asked the question. Where do you think they learned it from? Yeah. Because let me say this before I answer that question. United States government, this government right here, it was built on violence.
Yeah.
It was built on violence.
Mm-hmm.
Severe, brutal violence. In many multiple ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things that people perpetrate or act out of today was taught to them long before black people started committing crime. The first gangs of the United States was in the 1700s with the streets of New York. Very first gangs, and they was all white people.
Mm-hmm. But you got to think about it. Gang banging still exists amongst these white folks. They just do it in a more they gang bang through financial institutions and through the justice system.
It was a 66 rag job, man. It was a 66 rag. Me and Turtle was in a 66 rag, pearl white. As a matter of fact, it was my homie Bad Habit Rabbit. We was in Bad Habit Rabbit's car that night.
I got a 66 rag right now that I'm about to start working on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna cut it though. I think I'm just gonna ride a stock maybe later on in life.
Man, that's what I do.
Yeah,
I throw some cold, what's they call them rims? With the not no Kragers. See, my wife said Kragers. Forgiatos.
Oh yeah.
She went way back talking about some Kragers.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna ride a stock, man, and get in it. I'm gonna put a fuel injection carburetor in there so we get decent gas mileage. I can drive it from here to LA, drive it from here to San Francisco if I want to. Good gas mileage. I'm building the car for it to be a cruiser, not a low rider.
Yeah, you're right, McKnight. You guys, man, we got to put together, like I say, we got to put together a pamphlet or something with some instructions in it, ball game, something that's tangible.
Yeah, well, that's easy, Melly, and we can distribute them all across California.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's that part of the game is easy, especially with the information that we have and some of the things that we know. We can put together a pamphlet, call it something, and just send it out, distribute it out all across California. What we need to start doing is collecting email addresses, my brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just like any good marketing campaign, great marketers, the way they make their money is that they develop an email list and they're able to blast across the internet, any information that they need to assimilate.
Hey, ball game. I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, but our families is a gang by default. You think about it, somebody just like when you got in that situation, who did you call?
Oh yeah, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
By default, man.
Both my brothers, and like I said, well, I have five brothers, but that particular night, my older brother Levan and my brother Melly, they showed up, and my brother Melly, he a hothead, so we had to tone him down. If anything would have happened to you, boy, I was gonna kill every. I said, nah, just calm down. We all right.
You said it, ball game. Email address. He wants your email address, ball game.
Who that?
Casey.
Casey. Oh yeah, okay, Casey.
I guess that's what he's saying. He said email addresses. I don't know why he's saying that.
No, he just said you said it, ball game. What he basically saying is that email addresses where you can get a lot of information out to people. I think I understand.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. That's what his brother's saying.
Divine Cupboard, right?
Yeah. So yeah. Marquise Jeff, hey, Broham, right on that. That's a Buick. As a matter of fact, man, one of the homegirls, her mother, this is off the subject, but her mother, the poor thing, she's such a sweet lady, but she's dealing with dementia, but she got a cold 1985 Cutlass in her driveway with the car cover on it, and the lady, she said she's gonna sell it to me, man. I'm trying to get that car. It is clean.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, let me see what JP saying. Something need brother some love. Marcus Allen, Boss Hogg, Terrell Davis, Lincoln Kennedy, Reggie Bush, Eric Allen. Them is all the hump. Jock Jones, Ricky Williams. Ricky ain't
they
gonna
all
do
from San Diego, huh?
Every last one of them. Ricky ain't gonna do nothing. Ricky smoking weed. Reggie Bush, he acting like a white boy. Eric Allen, he come back to Lincoln High School. Terrell come back. Marcus Allen, he ain't gonna, I love him to death, but he ain't gonna do too much of nothing. He act like a white boy too. And right now, Jock Jones is my homie. And Jock, I talk to Jock on a regular basis, but Jock.
Oh, he say, I'm OJ.
Jock staying away from Southeast as he should. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So
bang that like button.
Yeah, bang it, man. Y'all hit that like button, man, for Melly and the things that he do, man. And Melly, talk about this thing we trying to do, man. Put together this documentary about this cool jazz festival, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be phenomenal. I think that the Cool Jazz Festival has such a rich history for Black culture, man. And it reflected a time and an era where we we convened in San Diego and took on this rich culture. And it was food, it was people, it was music. I mean, you was right there up front with the musicians. You know what I mean? They was very relatable back then, and we just had such a great time back then. And we want to recapture that because you had the Black Panther movement was going on. The US organization, United Slaves, and all these different people was involved. And even at that time, the Crips and Bloods was even there. You know what I mean? You know, being cool though, because it was called the Cool Jazz Festival. I'm gonna talk to brother Fahim, man. Fatim was in the NOI Black Panther Party as well. So I'm gonna try to get him involved. You know what I mean? And get some, because I know Fatim probably got some old pictures to help us, capture those moments, and he can also do some commentary because he up there. He's in the 70s, so he's a part of that movement. So what do you want to like? How would you approach it though?
Well, you know, like my thing is, I'm there. I have to talk about the social economical times of that particular era.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then for me, you know, I want to talk about everything you just said. What was going on around the Cool Jazz Festival? How the Cool Jazz Festival brought unity amongst us. Like you said, how that was one particular weekend where, you know, you might get a fight here or there, but for the most part, the Bloods and the Crips wasn't tripping. The Black Panthers and the US organization was able to congregate in one area, and everybody was able to enjoy the festivities, and the Cool Jazz Festival was a real unifying event for us at that particular time. You know what I mean? I want to talk about how much money it took to, you know, the sponsorship that was needed to be able to put on those shows. Because when it went from Ocean View Park, the first Cool Jazz Festival started in 1975, and
Shout out to Mike Marks.
and then what's up, Mike? And it was held at Jack Murphy Stadium, which would sooner turn into Qualcomm Stadium. And the last, what year do you think the last Cool Jazz Festival was held, Melody?
Right.
The last year the Cool Jazz Festival was held in 1986. So
Man.
so the Cool Jazz Festival went for 12 years.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that the crack situation interrupted the Cool Jazz Festival? Because the crack interrupted a lot of things that was going on in our communities.
No, I don't know. The crack didn't. What happened was, and I'm going to have to do my research, and this is what I believe happened. But I'll put more information out there later as I do my research. No, the city became more conservative. You know what I mean? You know, the city became more conservative. Some of the
Watching 103rd Street Rhythm and Band.
Some of the sponsorship dried up. You know what I mean? You know, from what I understand, I think some of the research I did, I think the city of San Diego had to start going up on. They went up on because the city of San Diego will rent the stadium out to the sponsors and all the promoters. So in order to choke them out, to stop the Cool Jazz Festival from happening, they went up on their price. They went up on the price of renting out the stadium.
Uh-huh.
They started demanding that the promoters have $5, $6, $7, $8 million worth of insurance. You know, they just start giving they start giving Willie Morrow and them 92.5, Jammin' Z90, all these radio stations that was hosting the events. They started giving them some outrageous ultimatums and requirements to start to keep the show, to keep it from going, you know, and you know, another thing that we got to do, Melly, man, we got to reach out. You know, somebody we need to talk to, some of these people that are still living. You know, we need to talk to people like Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band. We need to get in contact with Larry Blackman from Cameo.
Man, you know what? Them used to be my partners, man. when I was in the business.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see, you know, so you know, we the brother from the SOS band. I know the Atlantic Star. Their whole lineup is still together. So we need to reach out to some of these people, you know, and get some information from them and see if we can interview some of them and get some of them to talk about their experiences, you know, when they were performing in the Cool Jazz Festival. So it's you know, to get this thing really cracking, man, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take some research. It's going to take some leg. With the brother yesterday, when me and Mario had the meeting with a couple of the photographers that I was telling you about, and we was asking him, can he get us some old pictures, some footage, and he was telling us that he had some of that old school reel-to-reel video footage.
That's the real stuff right there.
Yeah, when he was telling us that yesterday, he asked me, he said, well, Mike, what's your timeline? And at the time, I, you know, like, are you trying to do this now? And then when I thought about the timeline, I said, well, you know what, this is really just an idea. And he was like, well, you know what, I got time. And I said, yeah, you got time.
You got it.
You know, the brother, you know, he was asking me, you know, what's my timeline, and he also gave me some other names that I need to talk to. You know what I mean? So, you know, wrote those names down, and you know, so like I said, I'm about to get on this, man. I'm about to get on this, and I'm about to dive into this head first, man.
Right.
You know, so yeah, you know,
Well, shucks, ball gang. We've been in here almost a couple of hours, man. I appreciate you stopping in, man. As always, it's a beautiful moment, a beautiful situation. We was able to dialogue about many things and discuss some things, and also the chat room was phenomenal tonight, man. We
They
didn't really
was,
get a
man.
whole lot of
They was. We didn't get no dummies in there tonight, huh?
yeah, no. If we did, Marlena and Mike Marks and everybody took care of them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I appreciate you, bro. I'll be out. I gotta go. I don't know if I told you I gotta go down, and I got a couple of people, man, that's been like they gonna be fired, man. So I'll call you tomorrow and let you know about it.
Okay, please do, man. And everybody, the mailroom goons, man. You know, again, the ball game. I love you, brothers and sisters. Marlena, you dig what I'm saying? I'm at to take you to lunch when I get up there, girl. We're gonna have to have a sandwich or something. And Mike, much respect to Mike Marks and everybody, man. And I appreciate the questions, man. You know, I appreciate Melly for having me on again as always. And you know, next time I come in, I might get dressed, Melly. I might put on some. I might put on a brand.
Man, go on and do your thing, man. Go on and show out. Shout out to Cynthia, Yashua Muhammad. Let me know what your name changed to, Yashua. Marlena Williams for being a postmaster. Michelle, how are you? McKnight, JS, Creole 100, Lakeisha Boney. Wow, you came back. That's my New Jersey fam right there. Marcus, Danny Howard, Broham, of course, Broham, man. Bugsy Siegel, my homeboy, James Wood, and my homie Kizzy. Shout out to James Nibbit.
Yeah. So you know, yeah. Tell Marlena to hit me on Instagram, man. Give her my Instagram hit so she can hit me on the
Okay.
gram.
Shout out to Cynthia Nunn also. Shout out to Cynthia Nunn.
Miss Cynthia Nunn, we love you, babe. Much
Shout out
respect.
to Mike Morris. Go have a good time on the ride them dirt bikes. Be careful out there, bro. Don't break no ankle, don't break no bones, and be good, be safe, most of all, be well. Likewise to you, ball game. Hey, so until the next time, chat room, we are gone.
Peace.
Click the notification bell, like, subscribe, share, drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like the first and the 15th. Shout out to Mailroom Nation, Mailroom Goons. Y'all are the best. City Hood Click, let's go. It's your story. Tell it how you want to. Professor Melly Bell, you know the vibe.